Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the weekly show with Aditya, India's number one podcast, with India's number one host, Aditya, in association with Dusra.net, the number one website in sports, education, and entertainment. We are in for an exciting finish to the T20 domestic competition as the four semi-finalists lock horns looking to win the coveted title. Chennai, Mumbai, Delhi and Hyderabad are the four semi-finalists, while Mumbai, Chennai and Hyderabad have won this title before. For Delhi, this is an important opportunity to get their hands on the trophy, leaving only Punjab and Bangalore as the teams who have not yet won the title. Chennai and Mumbai are looking for their fourth title, while Hyderabad is looking for its third title. This semi-final clash is the clash of the coaches. All the four coaches involved are proven performers. I would give each team a 25% chance of winning, which means no team has the higher percentage, but they are all on an equal level in terms of strengths and weaknesses. Since we love to associate age and sports, though individuals like Tiger Woods, Mahesh Bhupati, Leander Pace have kicked the age factor out of the park. But age is a complicated and a funny thing. Our obsession with the word youth versus experience can at times be quite irritating. Age and experience are subjective and just semantics. Hypothetically, if Delhi go on to win this competition, then we will all rave about the youth in the team and how these players are the future and the best possible replacement for the oldies. On the other hand, if Chennai go on to win the competition, then the headlines will say team with 38 plus players defy all odds and their collective experience becomes a factor due to which they won the competition, which was a recurring theme last year. Mumbai and Hyderabad fall somewhere in the middle. They have a collection of players between 25 and 30. If either of these two teams win the competition, then there will be a slightly different headline. For Mumbai, we will rave about the Pandya brothers factor as well as Karan Pollard along with Jasprit Bumrah and the captaincy of Rohit Sharma, and whether Rohit Sharma should captain the Indian T20 team at the World Cup next year. For Hyderabad, it will be a mixed bag. It will be Bhuvneshwar Kumar's bowling along with all-rounders Rashid Khan and Mohammad Nabi, while with the injury to Kedar Jadhav, everybody will want Manish Pandey to be in the team. While Manish Pandey, Rishabh Pant warrant a place in the side, since this is an injury to an all-rounder in Kedar Jadhav, I would like to go for a like-to-like replacement. If his injury is severe enough to keep him out for more than a month, then Suresh Raina should be given a chance in the side, since we already have two wicket keepers in Dhoni and Karthik and two fast bowling all-rounders in Vijay Shankar and Hardik Pandya. In the hindsight, Vijay Shankar has not performed for his Hyderabad team And now what is being said is that will he carry this form or lack of form in the Indian team, and should he be dropped from the team, and probably Rishabh Pant, who has been more consistent in this competition, be given a chance. If such were the reasons for which the selectors kept changing and chopping the team, then we would never have a team till 5th of June. If the selectors really wanted to test the players, then instead of this competition, they could have organized a series with one of the teams. One can take the example of England. England is currently playing a one-day series with Pakistan, which is a perfect practice session for both the teams, and in a way audition for those fringe players who might sneak into the team. With this competition being hosted, the loyalties between club and country were always going to crack open, especially with the World Cup just a couple of weeks away. 23 days to be exact. The commercial pressures of hosting this competition did not allow the Indian Cricket Board to have an extra series, and therefore whatever matches we had before this competition started and whatever were the results of that, including the audition for a few spots, the selectors had to go by what they saw. But coming back to this competition, I would love to see a Irani trophy like competition, means winner versus rest of India, means one out of Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai and Hyderabad will win the competition, and they should square up against the rest of the domestic teams. In that case, if Mumbai wins, then the captain of the rest of the teams would be Dhoni. If Chennai wins, then the captain of the rest of the teams would be Rohit Sharma. Now you ask, why am I not taking Virat Kohli as my captain? I do not want Virat Kohli to be involved in such trivial affairs. Let me tell you this, in the long term, Kohli is most likely to retire from T20, and that will be confirmed by November 8, 2020. Dhoni has nothing to lose, with 2019 being his last year in sports. He doesn't have much to ponder on. The three semi-finals and the eventual finals will be exciting. One good thing the broadcasters did was to shift the match by half an hour from 8 pm to 7:30 pm. Though another logical move would have been to scrap the timeouts. Instead of 2 timeouts per innings, we should have only one timeout of 4 minutes. Meaning any change of accessories for the batsman, any communication from the coach to the players, or any kind of drinks break should be accommodated in these 4 minutes. Means no separate drinks break, and the umpires should be strict about a mid-inning change for the players. That includes gloves, boots, bats. In fact, even the start of 7:30 pm is not enough. If you look at such competitions around the world, the night matches start at 7 pm local time and the afternoon matches begin at 3 pm. Talking about afternoon matches, they have scheduled a women's championship, a women's T20 league in between the semi-finals and the finals. Though on every stage it looks like an obligation from both the sides. The start time for these matches is 3 or 3:30 pm, and I can tell you there will not be a single spectator on the ground, and a capacity of 28 30,000 will look barren. Talking about capacity, it's time that the organizers allowed vehicles of the people watching the match inside the stadium and not just relegate it to a few VIPs, that is, very ignorant and irritating persons. The cost of the ticket should include the cost of the parking. The parking lot numbered should double the capacity of the stadium. For example, if the stadium has a capacity of 30,000, then the parking lot capacity should be no less than 70. One of the biggest objections to this suggestion will be security. Well, we cannot have such excuses. The organizers don't seem to care about the people watching the match. If one has to walk 2 kilometers from the parking spot in this heat and then stand in the poorly maintained security line for another 25 minutes, and upon entering the stadium, one is deprived of food and drinks for nearly 4 hours, then watching the match in these conditions is a nightmare. So the organizers need to rethink as to how they treat the people, without which the revenue from the gate money, the ticket money, would be nil. So one hopes that instead of just 4 matches involving the women's division, there should be at least 30 matches for the same. I am disappointed that teams from the 2 Indian football leagues, especially the winners, are not part of the football's champion league. Winners from the EPL, Bundesliga, La Liga always adorn this competition and they light it up. I think a Sunil Chetri, a Sandesh Jhingan are as good as Ronaldo, Messi, Mohamed Salah and the rest. And while we rave about these players up to the extent that every kid on the street wants to be a Messi, but none want to adorn the qualities of these 2 Indian footballers and many more, is a matter of disappointment. The administrative squabbles between the 2 leagues has certainly put a negative spotlight on how trivial matters become so dominant that it forces us to have a myopic viewpoint on how Indian football has to move forward and one day be a part of the Football World Cup, which can be a reality if the administrators put in the effort they need to in terms of providing the footballers the much needed infrastructure. The quality of the football field, the size of the ground, the length of the post make a huge difference, and this is visible glaringly when you watch a match on Indian football grounds and the grounds outside. Of all the stadiums in Delhi, it is only the hockey stadium, and when you enter it and you enjoy the match or even watch from the television, that you get an impression that yes, the administrators, the organizers are concerned about these matters. While on the other hand, the less you talk about the Ambedkar Stadium and the Delhi Cricket Stadium, the better it is. So, hoping against hope, I hope that one day one of these teams will be a part of the Champions League and the Indian football team will be a part of the World Cup, because even participating in the World Cup will shift loyalties. For once, instead of shouting Messi, Ronaldo, or the name of any other player, we might just wear a jersey of an Indian football player with pride. while the majority of the time is spent in watching either cricket, a bit of football, or even tennis, badminton, or shooting and wrestling. Hockey, the shortest game in all these sports, loses the vitality. Well, in a month's time, that is on 6th June, India will be hosting the FIH series finals. Though this time, due to the cyclone Fani, Bhubaneswar might not be able to host the tournament. And the second best option for such matches is the Delhi ground, though we have other logistical nightmares to think about. It will be a good test for other grounds as to see whether they are ready to host such a huge tournament going forward in case the venue needs to be shifted because of emergencies. This was your host Aditya on the 6th of May 2019. The time by the studio clock was 10:40 am. Hope you enjoyed this episode. I will be back with more such classical analysis on next Monday. Till then, have a great week. So, if you want to be a part of my show, please send your valuable suggestions and send your recording on topics ranging from sports, education, and entertainment on the email ID Aditya the writer at gmail.com. That is Aditya the writer at gmail.com. Thank you for listening to this episode. Please like and subscribe to my Facebook page and YouTube channel and stay tuned for the next episode.